Yeah.
I think the last time we discussed about group by, if you can remember. Uh,
Yeah.
so should I do a quick recap on group by before going
Please.
to? Okay, I should do that. Okay.
Yes. Please.
I'm going to use the table that you can see on the screen. The name of the table is payments. So in case you want to practice, you can go to the database. The database is Sakila. So then I'll go to the table, then I'll see payments. So this is the table you are seeing. Now looking at this payment table, as I told you, anytime you have been given a data to analyze, the first thing is to understand each of the variables. And I told you that anytime I talk about variables, I'm talking about each columns in the database table. So looking at this, you can see payment ID, customer underscore ID, staff underscore ID, renter underscore ID, amount, payment date, and last update. Now the question is that what did we really want to achieve? What we want to achieve is that for at least here, I think we have two major staff. That's why you are seeing 111, 222. Let me scroll down. 111. So anytime you are seeing one, that means that's a particular staff. By the grace of God, by the time I'm meeting you next, I will show you how to combine two tables. The fact that you are
Okay.
saying one, it means that there's a particular staff that is having the staff ID what? One. So that means there's another table entirely for us to be able to know the specific staff that is having that ID. So, but let me quickly show you. So let me go to staff. I know there will be a table that will be staff. Okay, can you see staff? Let me quickly open it so that you see staff. Okay, can you see staff ID one, Mike? So that means anytime you see one, I'm talking to what? Mike. So anytime you see two, I'm talking to what? John. Is that clear, sir? Hello? Hello, sir? Oh my God. Are you with me? Oh, what happened? That's connected. So that's when you're taking something, always get a feedback. So you not just assume that the person is connected. So it's even back. It's back. Okay, sorry. The network. Let me start. Let me recap. Hello, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, let me recap.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay. Like I'm talking about a particular staff. So that's why I opened the staff table. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I opened the staff. So that means anytime you are saying one, I'm talking to Mike. And anytime you are saying two, I'm talking to John. So let's go back to the major table. So I just try to show you that so that you understand why you are saying 111, 222. One is Mike, two is John. So let's leave that. Now, what we want to achieve in this uh, table is that we want a situation that we can know the total amount that is paid to each of the staff. Because if you should observe the table, each row, like the first row, you could see 2.9, the second row 0.99, the third row 5.99 is still to the same staff that has ID 1. Are you following, sir?
Mm.
Aha. Now,
Yeah.
at the fourth row, 0.99, the fifth row, 9.99, is to another staff, which is John, having the staff ID 2. Now, the question now is that this is a lot of rows, and it's going to take time if I start calculating by myself. It's going to take a lot of time. So that's the reason why I'm going to use group by to what? To know the total amount for each of the what? For each of the staff. So let's go to the business.
Oh.
So I'm just going to go to what? Select. As I told you, anytime, let me just go to the staff underscore ID. That's a column. That's the first column. Then after the staff underscore ID, the next thing is the amount. So I will now need to sum. I'll use sum function. Are you following, sir? So the reason is because I want to sum. Let me allow you to see the screen. Because I want to sum the amount for a specific staff. So that means, what is the column? Amount. So I'm going to use amount. Then I will close. And I will use as. I know you know this already. So I can call it final amount. I'll now say from what? From payment table. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
I will now use group by. What am I grouping by? I'm grouping by staff. Abi?
Yeah.
Staff underscore ID. Then I will terminate. Let's run. Immediately after the class, I will drop the code for you so that in case you want to practice.
Okay.
Let's see what will happen. Can you see what I'm saying? Automatically, it has calculated the total amount that is paid to Mike and the total amount that is paid to John. Is that clear? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me give you a picture that will help you to understand how to do these things without really cramming. The easiest way to learn is that just assume or have a kind of imagination of what you want to achieve. This is what we want to achieve, right? Which means the first column is what? Staff underscore ID. That's why you see me that I wrote select what? Staff underscore ID. Now, I told you that anytime you see comma, it means that you are ruling a line. Do you understand? So that means I've ruled. Then now, the next thing is the final amount. And before you can get the final amount, I need to use a function known as what? Sum. Then I put the amount inside the parentheses, and I will now use as final amount. That's all. After that, from payment, then I'm grouping by what? Staff underscore ID. The essence of group by is that, for example, now if I'm in a pharmacist, I can group by their items. That's why to show me paracetamol, the total amount that has been sold for paracetamol for each of the items. Are you getting me, sir? So now,
Yeah.
since this is clear, this is not where we are going. I just did a quick recap. The next thing I'm going to do now is that I want to use group by and where together. I want to use what? Group by and where. Let me open this first one. Okay. Now, in this case, we are still doing the same thing, but in this case, I don't just want to do everything. That is, I only want to know for a particular month because this one is showing for month 05, Abi, month 06, and some other month. I don't know the months that are there, but I just want to show for a particular what month. I don't want the analysis to cover the whole transaction. I want it to just cover for only what? For only May, which is 05. That means I will need to involve where statement. So let's see how I can involve where statement. So that means I don't want to disrupt this one, so that I can copy and paste. Control C, Control V. You'll see what I will do now. So I'll now say staff ID, comma, sum amount as blah 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 from payment. I'll now use what? You use where immediately after the table name. I'll now say where payment underscore what? Date equals, look at me, equals 05. But do you know it will not work? I'll tell you the reason why it will not work. The reason why this will not work is that looking at the payment underscore date, it has different parameters that are joined together, starting from the what? The
Mm.
year, the month,
Yeah.
the day,
Governments. Yeah.
the hour,
Mm-hmm.
the minute, and the seconds. So that means that if I want to deal with month alone, I will need a function that will separate the month out of the entire payment underscore what? Date. So how am I going to do it? That means I will say where payment. So I will not just use direct. I will now use where what? Where month, because month function. You understand? This one will separate month out of the entire what? Entire payment underscore date. So I've separated it now. I will now say equals what? 05. It's going to work like this. Are you following, sir?
Yeah.
So let's run it now. So I'm going to highlight and I'm going to run. Wow. Can you see that the amount has reduced? Because
Mm-hmm.
the amount is specifically for what? For the month of
The
May.
names of men. Yeah.
Is that clear, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the interesting thing about what? About where and also about group by. So it's either you use group by separately or you use group by with what? With where. So let's now go to a real life scenario before I will round up the class. Just prepare your mind. When we are meeting in the next class, I will be taking you on how to join two tables together, because this table is actually this code is really to a single table, but now we're going to be dealing with what? Two or more tables. So let's quickly look at a real life scenario from the. Are you still coming to Nigeria as you said?
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Okay. So I because I already have it at the back of my mind that you buy our software when you come for your farm. Okay, sir. Are you with me, sir?
Hopefully. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
If it's not, I'm with you.
Okay,
If it's
sir.
not too expensive.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Since you are our student, we'll reduce the price. You understand, sir? And possibly, I can do a video to show the preview of the app. So
Okay.
possibly we can even before you come, we can start helping you to do whatever you want to do inside the app, so that we'll perfect it. And by the time you come, you can start using it
Okay.
immediately. Yes. So don't worry. Maybe after the class, I will tell you the price. Then
Okay.
definitely I will reduce it for you, sir. It's very affordable. I know you'll be surprised when you even hear the amount. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So now let's go to Wadoda Farm.
Okay.
And in the farm, I'm going to show a payment table. Okay, this is a table that shows their transaction. And in this, their transaction, I can use my code for two things. It's either I want to know the what? The transaction for specific products. Are you getting me? Or
Yeah.
the transactions for specific clients. And these are the major things that people enjoy in using software. You understand? So looking at this now, I can quickly use it specifically for items. So let's quickly do that. So that means I'll say select items, comma. Then after items, then the next thing is that I want to know the total. So, and this is total. So I'm just going to say sum total, sum total. After sum total, I'm going to use as, let's say total. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Total. At the end of the day, I will now say from where? Payment. That's the name of the table. Payments. Payment. Let me be sure that I've selected the database. Even though there are two ways. See that I put the name of the database dot the payment. But if you double click and you are sure it's selected, there's no need of putting the database name. So now from payment, I'll now say group by what? Group by. So I'm grouping by items.
Right.
Yeah. So let's see. So it's very simple. So let's run. Can you see? So no matter how long is all their products, it's going to tell me the what? The amount they got for each of it. Can you see Pepsi, Cote, malt, orange, egg, milling, soya, like that? Are you following, sir?
Yes, I'm there.
So that is for what? For each of the products. But what if we want to do it for each of the client? Oh, this time around, I want to know the client that patronized them. I will just go to what? This time around, I will not use item. I will use what? I need to know the name of each column. So let me quickly run. So okay, that's name. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So his name that is holding the client. So I'll say select what? Name, comma, sum total, because I want to know the total stuff that they actually got. You understand? As total from what payment grew by name. Then I'm going to run. I will run. Wow. Can you see that these are all, no matter how many is their client, they will know. There are clients that got something as what as 3 point something million. You understand? Like that, like that, like that, like. Are you getting me, sir? But now the question now is that I can also modify, like, oh, for a particular month. You understand? This is the entire details. Let's say for items now, I want to get, so that's where I will now use what? Where state. I'll say, now, the first thing is that I need to know the what? The column, the variable for that. Okay. Possibly the most interesting about my database, I separated the month. So this one can be even very simple. You just pick months, you understand? But I can also use the one that is together. But let me just do separated months so that we can round up. So that means month, right? Since I've separated it in the database already. So that means I'll just come like this. Okay, okay. So I'll just come where what? Where month equals what? 0, 5. If there's any month like 0, 5 in the database, definitely to work. That means there's no month like 0, 5. Let's try 0, 1. Did you see? So you can also do the same thing for the client also. And all these things, don't worry. That's why possibly when we are through, you can still come back for the full data science course, because with all these things, there's a way we can actually do some what do I call, some predictions from hits, from some prediction from it, because in the next 2 class you are rounding up with SQL, so that the next instructor is going to take you. So the instructor will be taking you on Power BI, but you have the option to pick one of the courses. It's either you are taking Power BI or you are taking SPSS. So thanks so much, sir. So take your time to go through the course, and immediately after the class, I will drop the video to your WhatsApp as well. So thanks so much, sir. See you in the next class. Okay,
okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.